I read 23 comics this week, including every tie-in for DCKO and X-Men Age of Revelation, and I'll let you know what I thought about them. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GemMint. I'm back. I actually haven't dropped a video since the new comic book day video last week. I guess I ended up taking a few days off for myself. I've been grinding out this Final Fantasy X Platinum. I got 2 trophies left, but I can't beat Dark Yojimbo. Anyone could help me out in the comments. It would be appreciated. But yeah, man, 23 books, every tie-in. I'm going to let you know what I thought about them, not to kind of steal from Rock and Robbie. Inspired, not stolen. Anyway, let's start with DC and the physical copies, because my pick of the week is a digital comic book that I read, and it was actually a surprising pick of the week. I didn't expect it. Stay tuned until the end for that. And let's jump into the DC books, and we have the Immortal Legend Batman, issue number 3, Kyle Higgins. He's joined by Matt Groom, Erica D'Orso, Daniel Bayliss, Dan Mora, Igor Monti, and Tamara Bonvillain. So this was actually a really strong issue. Issues 1 and 2, I kind of like them a little bit. It feels like, well, it really is outer space Bat Family. This is in the future, in the year 3125, and the legend of Batman has grown and been passed down throughout the generations, and they're basically like space versions of the Bat Fam. Humans have now colonized the stars and other planets, and the legends are running throughout. Now, what was dope about this one, it was a Riddler story, and I can see why Kyle had some help on the writing here. They have a bunch of riddles that you can like figure out on your own, or just wait till you get to the end of the issue and it'll break it down. But there's 3 riddles that Batman has to solve. Here's the second one. It gives you like a little question mark when you're looking at the riddle page. And it was a really good Batman versus Riddler, but in the future, but it didn't feel like in the future. I mean, it had some futuristic elements, but I thought it was really good. I really dug the art style. I liked the writing. And I always think about this when I'm reading stuff like Detective Comics, or like the very detective-y, the riddle stuff. Like, how do you write riddles, let alone solve them? You got to come up with them. I thought it was a great issue, man. I'm digging this series, actually. Next up, we have Absolute Wonder Woman issue 13. We are on a new arc here. This is part 1 of a 2-part series by Kelly Thompson, Bergara, and Bel Air. So what's going on in this series? So there is this kind of electricity force that has been showing up. Diana has kind of her ear to the streets. Any kind of like news from any place in the world, she kind of picks up on it, and she goes to investigate this like electric being, this being made of electricity. And anytime she gets around it, it like makes her want to kill. It's bringing out the worst in her. So she ends up trying to capture this thing across the world. She's having difficulty doing it. And then we kind of figure out how we get involved in the story. I don't want to give spoilers on it. The end is a pretty big spoiler of what this being actually is, but it's something she can't defeat. She can't really even attack it because it's just energy. Here's a little shot of it. So it's cool. Absolute Wonder Woman. I've been digging this series. We're on issue 13, new arc. I'm digging it. So actually, I was supposed to start with this one because this is the only book from last week. This was the Titans issue 28. This is by Layman and Woods. It's a DCKO tie-in. So what's going on in the regular world while all of our heroes and villains are being transported to Battle World, for lack of a better term? So the Titans, kind of, the call has gone out from Cyborg that they're going to evacuate Earth. I mean, that's the name of the issue, right? Evacuation Earth. So they're taking all these Teen Titans towers. They have a few of them all over the world, and they're basically making them escape pod starships. Beautiful art throughout this. It really reminds me of when I was reading Rendondo Nightwing? Who's on here? Yeah, Pete Woods doing the cover and the interior. I actually really did like this tie-in. I thought that all the tie-ins for DCKO were pretty decent. Spoiler alert. This one was from last week, and then there's 3 from this week. Let's jump into the next one, which is the Flash tie-in. This is issue 26, and this is by Mark Waid. How much Flash is this guy going to write? You got Cantwell and Georgiev along with Herms here. So it's a DCKO tie-in, kind of giving us more of what I needed as somebody who hasn't really been following what's going on in the main DC continuity with the whole Timekeeper, the Old Man Doomsday, and seeing more from that angle. And actually, I don't want to get confused because, you know, there's 4 of these tie-ins, And I don't want to say what happened in another book that goes to this book. Anyway, here's some good Flash art here. The Speed Force is being affected by this whole King Omega thing. And we actually get a badass Darkseid, Impulse, Wally West Flash battle in here. So pretty cool stuff, playing with time. And that's going to also be a part in some of the other tie-ins. Let's jump into the Justice League Unlimited issue 12. And this one is also by Mark Waid, but with Dan Mora and Bon Villain as well. Cool issue. And you know what's great about all these DC KO issues is that I've been wanting to get back into the DC regular continuity. When I jumped back into reading comics, a lot of these runs had already started. This is on issue 12, which I guess is actually not even as far in as Absolute Wonder Woman, but I jumped in on the Absolute titles with issue 1. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, I think all of these KO tie-ins are really good jumping on points for regular DC titles. All of these are starting a brand new arc, ties into KO, and after KO, I'll continue reading these titles. This one is cool because you have DC heroes from different eras, and they explain to you how that happened here, but you can see you got Superman Blue, you've got the Batman Beyond, you have the past version of Aquaman, you have the Peter David Aquaman with the hook. So it's interesting to see those characters seeing all the different versions of themselves, like Aquaman sees what he becomes in the future. Obviously, this is Tim Drake as Batman Beyond. And again, we're in the KO stuff. All of the heroes are gone. These guys are kind of back sitting at home trying to help with the evacuation process. They even have future Guy Gardner, who doesn't know that he's not in a relationship with Ice anymore. Is it fire or ice? I think it's ice. I love Guy Gardner. Really cool stuff with Guy Gardner here. He's like a pig. He's an asshole. But when the interaction goes down, you kind of see a different side of him. I thought it was really touching. I'm digging this, man. I'm digging the excuse to jump into all of these titles that I'm not reading. Superman, KO tie-in. This is issue 31. Joshua Williamson along with Barros, Ferreira, and Sanchez. Great issue, man. So Superman goes to the Fortress of Solitude. He wants to talk to his father through that, whatever you call it, the video recording, the AI stuff, and ask him, like, what would he do in this situation? His answer kind of makes Superman make the decision to fight, to go into battle world, to fight his own friends and enemies, to become the King Omega. And we also get Lois Lane. She pays a visit to the Fortress of Solitude and actually speaks with this version, or unlocks this version of his mother, Superman's mother. So great stuff here. It felt like very cinematic. Joshua Williamson, great writer. It felt like a movie. I was digging the artwork. Yo, there was some beautiful artwork in here. There was a panel I wanted to show you guys. I guess just the Fortress of Solitude stuff. Great stuff here. Superman, and that's all the KO stuff. I don't think I read any KO tie-in that I felt wasn't worth it. I thought they were all good issues. Okay, on to the Marvel stuff. We have Ultimate Spider-Man issue 22. So only 2 more issues left in this run by Jonathan Hickman, Chichetto, and Arsene Yeager. I actually did like this issue a lot. The last couple of issues I've been hard on Ultimate Spider-Man. I think where Ultimate Spider-Man really shines is when you get the interactions between J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben. I think that's the best stuff here. This was a touching issue. You got Spider-Man fighting alongside Green Goblin, but Spider-Man's got a family to go home to. Harry doesn't. You've got Otto being the ultimate superior Spider-Man, working with Richard Parker, who is essentially now like the symbiote Spider-Man. I don't know. I thought this was cool stuff leading up to what's going to be leading into the end of this arc and leading into the Ultimate Endgame stuff. I know a lot of people are kind of upset that the Ultimate Universe is ending. Honestly, Ultimate Spider-Man started off really, really strong, and then it kind of just weaned out for me a little bit, but I am excited to finish and see where it ends. Which brings us to the Ultimate Spider-Man, what is this, Cataclysm? No, Incursion. I think I called it Cataclysm the last time when I reviewed this, and that's a different Ultimate event. So this is the Ultimate Incursion by Camp Ziegler, Scharf, and Delgado. Talk about a series that I've been tough on. I've been rough on every single issue of this event so far. This is by far the best one. This one, I love the stuff between Doctor Doom and Miles Morales, and the revelation that the maker is Reed Richards from a different Ultimate Universe, the same Ultimate Universe that Miles is from, and seeing this version of Doom like piece that all together while he's talking to Miles. Miles is like nonchalantly just saying this to him. I love his face. He's like, what? His mind is blown. So this was cool stuff. Miles had to follow his baby sister's captives into this universe and trying to save her, rescue her. Cool stuff with the Maker here. It was a cool like revelation type of issue, not to play a pun on the X-Men stuff we're about to get into. Before we do that, though, we got Fantastic Four, issue number 4. This is by Ryan North. I feel like I always say the wrong name. No, Ryan North with Humberto Ramos, along with Elizaba and Delgado. So, kind of a weird thing with this Fantastic Four run. I guess it's just a new ongoing. This is a new story. It's kind of like a self-contained one-shot story about this dog that they take in, but it's really this alien. But it plays with your perception. You don't see this kind of squid beast. You don't feel his tentacles or his gooiness. So it's Ben Grimm's wife, Alicia, who's blind. She's the one that really is questioning what's going on with this dog. Something is up with it. Reed looks into it, and it's like a self-contained, like I said, Fantastic Four story. Still good, but it's kind of like, that's weird. We're just getting this Fantastic Four ongoing just with random stories. Okay. I've got more Marvel stuff, but it's all digital. Let's get into the physical copies of the indie stuff. So from Dynamite, we got Terminator Metal issue 1. This cover is what made me pick this up. And this is a variant cover. This is a new ongoing, obviously, and it centers this guy who has reprogrammed a T-800. He calls him Tex. Tex has been looking out for him, but when he gets around some other humans and they're trying to continue with this mission here, the other humans do not trust Tex, and it kind of causes a hindrance to the mission, if you will. They have to basically outrun the machines. They have to get to the main location or what have you. But it was pretty cool stuff. Great artwork, kind of exciting and explosive. This one is by Declan, Shalvey, McConnell, and Ray. I dug this one. I'll check out issue 2 for sure. All right, then we have Skinbreaker issue number 2. So this is the regular copy, and then this is the Treasury edition. So let me show you guys a little bit better of like the size difference. So we'll review the Treasury edition. Robert Kirkman, David Finch, 5-issue series. The art, again, is incredible in this, and the Treasury edition has like newspaper quality papers. So, man, you can smell the ink in the paper. So this is only a 5-issue series, and I really realized that while reading this issue. So you have the clans, right? We're on this other planet. It's this species. It doesn't really matter, but it's really more of changing of the guard, their customs, and the current chieftain not wanting to give up his power to this guy. He wants his guy, he wants his guy to lead, so they have to fight to the death. Then after the battle, the book does something interesting. I don't want to spoil it, but it does something unexpected, but again, makes sense knowing that this is going to be a 5-issue series. I like where they went with it, kind of a breaking the cycle type of theme going on here. Great stuff from Skinbreaker. I'm digging these Treasury editions. And then the last indie physical copy, we have The Invisible Man, issue 3, James Tynion in the 4th, along with Danny and Brad Simpson. So you see this cover? I like it because this is kind of what goes on in the inside of this issue here. Our person has been experimenting with animals, with felines, with rats, all that stuff, and he's finally gone on to human trials. And as he's doing these trials, he doesn't just inject a person and they become invisible. He kind of is able to make their skin go away, and they don't know what's going on. They think their skin is gone, but it's just invisible. But then he's able to kind of tweak the formula. He's able to get the bones to go away, the muscles, the nerves and all that. And a very cool twist at the end of this issue, man. Great stuff. 4-issue miniseries for all these Universal Monsters tie-ins. So we're going to end it with the next one, but I did not see that coming. After just a few years, a new Ninja Funk chapter is finally being released after the cliffhanger to the first arc. Will Ninja Funk save Bella Bay from bad music, or will things go from bad to worse in Ninja Funk Volume 2? There are a ton of amazing covers available from artists like David Mack, Alessandro Miceli, Aaron Bartling, Tyler Kirkham, Natalie Sanders, Xander, and Alex Regal, just to name a few. Make sure to check out for them over at That Spider-Man Booth on Whatnot. All right, so let's go back to Marvel with the digital stuff. Marvel Zombies, issue 2. This one is by Parker Sheridan, Bal Zaldua, and Arsen Yeager. I am really digging this new Marvel Zombies series. I loved the first issue. This one is crazy because it's Marvel Zombies mixed with the original Secret Wars. Because this Marvel Zombies started with the Fantastic Four going to space, getting hit by the cosmic rays, coming back. They do have powers, but they're also zombies. The zombie apocalypse kicks off in the Marvel Universe at the dawn of the Marvel Universe. So in the Silver Age. So, you get your traditional, they're eating everybody in sight, all the people, they're changing heroes to becoming zombies, but the Beyonder plucks them, puts them on Battle World, and now they're battling Marvel zombies. I thought it was pretty cool, man. Dug this series. It's a red band issue. It's gory. It's bloody. It's fun. Then we got Predator Kills the Marvel Universe, issue 3. Benjamin Percy, along with Daniel Picotto with Frank D. Armada. I love this homage. What is that, like a Barry Windsor Smith cover, the Weapon X cover? Incredible series here. It feels a lot like Marvel Zombies. It's just kind of this Elseworlds kind of take. What if the Predators came down and destroyed all the Marvel superheroes with intel from Kraven the Hunter? But what's cool about this series, it's been building up since Predator vs. Wolverine, Predator vs. Black Panther, Predator vs. Spider-Man. Am I missing one? That might be it. So it's actually really well done. It's not just a stupid team up. Like, these Predators are a real threat. They're coming here. They're taking out key players so they can take over the world, and giving us more insight into the, how do you say it, Yauti? On their kind of like mission statement to search the cosmos and hunt the biggest game type of thing. Very cool stuff, man. When Hulk gets involved, the Predators, they got to worry a little bit here. So great stuff here. I almost gave this one pick of the week. All right, next up, we got the Undead Iron Fist, issue number 2. This one is by Lou Gallant and Campbell. So we have the Daredevil team up. We have Iron Fist. He died in a previous series. He's here. He's fighting these what look like humans, but he can see that they're really possessed by these demons. The Daredevil team up. The thing about this issue and this run so far, it's got incredible artwork. A lot of times with these modern books, you have the storytelling and the art just kind of gets you through the story. But this is a book that's kind of similar to Spider-Man and Wolverine, where the art is like the focal point. And you had a lot of great action, Iron Fist busting out his new moves and kind of calling them out when he's doing them, which is an Iron Fist trope. Did I call him Iron Man? I've been saying Iron Fist, right? The Daredevil stuff was cool. I actually like this one a lot more than issue 1. Issue 1 didn't really hook me, but I'm glad that I decided to read this one. We'll keep following Iron Fist. All right, let's get on to the X-Men Age of Revelation stuff with The Last Wolverine, issue number 1. This one is by Ahmad Salazar and Lopez. So Wolverine is Doug Ramsey, Revelation's like enforcer. So what happened? How did we get here? This is telling the story of Wolverine before that happened, and he runs into this new hero who's been taken over by the Wendigo, but takes him under his wing. And when Wolverine turns and becomes bad, he picks up the mantle as Wolverine. But he's the wonderful Wolverine. Everybody loves him. He's Canada's favorite superhero, even though he looks beastly and all that kind of stuff. It actually was a really good issue. I kind of dug this one. I don't really think it's super important for the overall story. Wolverine is important, but I don't know how important this Wendigo wonderful Wolverine is going to be, but I did enjoy it while I was reading it. It was a cool costume, too, to see Wendigo basically in the Wolverine outfit. All right, then we have Omega Kids, issue number 1. This is by Fleece, Jenalette, and Cifuentes Sujo. Bro, I almost gave this one a pick of the week. I'm a sucker for Quentin Quire stuff. So this is Quentin Quire 10 years in the future. He's training this new batch of very powerful and young psychics. And there is such a huge twist in this book. It's sad. It's depressing. The art was good throughout, and I didn't even see it coming. It was like a punch to the gut. I really dug this. Again, don't know how much of an impact this is going to have to the overall story, but I really did enjoy reading this one. And Omega Kids, I'm definitely going to be following this one. Next up, we have Radioactive Spider-Man issue number 1. This one is by Kelly Walker and Sotomayor. So I don't look at like the solicitations on what's coming out. I just kind of get the PDFs for Marvel at least. And I was like, oh, Radioactive Spider-Man, that's cool. I grew up with the animated series, the 1994 Spider-Man cartoon. And you know that theme song. But in that theme song, it would be like Radioactive Spider-Man, Spider-Man. And I remember as a kid, when it finally clicked, I was like, wait a minute, what are they saying? Radioactive Spider-Man? I was like, yeah, I guess he was bit by a radioactive spider, but you don't really hear about him being radioactive often. So anyway, I thought it was a clever title. This is in the Age of Revelation. So the gene bomb wiped out all the humans. The humans that it didn't kill, it mutated or turned into mutants. But where does that leave Spider-Man? He's not a mutant, but he's more than human. So it really kind of deforms him. He's got extra arms. He's all messed up. His body is all disformed. But the problem with this book, to me, it's the type of comic where people are like, can you leave politics out of my books? This had such a heavy political influence on stuff that's happening right now in the real world. So it's just like, I hate when writers do that. And I guess that it's kind of easy, but like during the pandemic, how many pandemic type tropes were there in comics? How many people were wearing masks, like COVID masks and stuff? So I just felt like everything that wasn't Peter Parker interacting with his new girlfriend, everything was like so overly political. It just was a huge turnoff for me. I didn't like this issue at all. Pick of the week for sure, as far as the weakest book. All right, and then the last one, we have the X-Men Book of Revelation issue number 1 by Jed MacKay, Diaz Parsons, and again with Cifuentes Sujo. So this one was pretty cool too. You have, again, Doug Ramsey as Revelation, and to the world, he's this imposing, powerful figure, but you get to see how he acts around like his constituents. I forget what they call them, not the Babbles, the Choristers. They have all these terms. So you have like a new Chorister who's kind of following him around, and the new young mutant is kind of surprised on how relatable and down to earth he is. Then there's this other kind of subplot of this ghost that is trying to speak to her, and we find out who this ghost is at the end. It's a big kind of gut punch scene again. And I did dig this one. I think this one is going to be a little bit more important to the overall story. I guess it's Book of Revelation 1, so it's more of a main title thing than a tie-in. I did dig this issue, well written, the art is good, and again, that reveal at the end was pretty cool. Back to the indies, we're here with Escape, issue 3 by Rick Remender, and he's joined by Daniel Acuna. This could have got pick of the week as well. What a great series, man. Such a kind of gut-wrenching, heartfelt story. You have this guy, he's in enemy territory, and this is him trying to get out of enemy territory. He's trying not to make noise. He's got to silently kill the enemies as he runs into them. It's not going as smooth as he would like. It's hard for him to escape. It's a great series. It's so crazy because it's anthropomorphic, but you don't even realize it once you're reading it. It's kind of like when you watch a really good black and white movie and you don't even realize it's in black and white anymore. Like you don't even think about the fact that there's no color. You don't even think about the fact that this guy is like a humanoid dog and they sick real dogs on him. So like, what is that dynamic? I guess this is a world where humans evolved from canines rather than apes. Exquisite Corpses is here with issue number 6, James Tynion in the 4th, and he is joined by, well, actually, Tyler Boss seems to be the main writer here. Art by Galvin Fullertron with Michael Walsh, Jordi Belair on the colors again, letters by Becca Carey. So the thing about Exquisite Corpses is it's kind of a hard book to review week to week. Essentially, every new issue, it just kind of focuses on 2 new killers from each respective family and what's going on in the world. This kind of, I was like, when did Thanos show up in this? That's my background picture. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so how are these killers killing? Kill, B. And that's all that it really is. Like, again, what more can you say? It is good. I mean, it's well written. It's kind of interesting. It's The Purge mixed with Halloween, mixed with Hunger Games. It's fun stuff. All right, then we got No Man's Land, issue number 2 by the one-man art comics, Simon Kurdansky. Great issue, man. This really feels like you're watching a movie. Another cinematic type of issue. Again, just to kind of like recant, you have the space in between Alaska and Russia, the no man's land, the kind of, what do you call it? The ice bridge that's only there for a couple of months out of the year. So you got KGB, you got FBI. They're both investigating this murder. It's of a supernatural nature. And they're still trying to figure out, like, okay, who's the real killer? Obviously, it's not this demon devil guy. But what if it is an actual demon devil guy? So very cool stuff. This, funny enough, it's in black and white. You don't even notice. Is it black and white? It's just kind of like, yeah, it's black and white. You couldn't even tell. I feel like it has splashes of color as well, but it feels like you're watching a movie. This should be adapted into a movie. I guess we need to see where it goes, but it was a good issue. And then the pick of the week, no, I'm just joking. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Halloween special. I did check this out, though. It's a bunch of stories. I think it's like 5 stories, so you have a ton of creators on here. Should we go down the list? Cena Grace, Megan, Carmana, Danny, Lore, Nick Marino, Zachary Sterling, Jody Nishijima, Juan Romero, Ellie Wright, Joshua Jensen, Andrew Kramer. So I read this, I had the PDF. I like Power Rangers, but I did not really like this one. This was like, okay, if you guys have been watching for a while, or if you haven't, when Power Rangers had their IDW or Boom Studios reboot, It was everything great about the show without the corny stuff. So these stories are just the corny stuff. Just the kind of stuff that you would have seen on the actual show with corny monsters, rapping Pumpkin. He only talks in raps. And they just felt like, again, the little pieces of the show that were the corny parts busted down into this Halloween special with Halloween themes and such. I didn't really like it. But what's crazy is the pick of the week was totally unexpected. And it was another Halloween special. Hello Halloween, issue number 1. It's another issue that has a bunch of stories in it. And let me tell you something. I'm not even a Halloween guy. I'm not even a horror guy. But these short stories, I want to say every single one of them, like, left me with my jaw to the floor. I was like, what? First of all, R.L. Stine wrote the first story. You got Carola Borelli, Sean Patrick Boyd, Elijah Henry, Megan Hutchinson, Paul Allure, Neil Vendrell, and Robert Hack. I think it was the Robert Hack stuff that I really dug. I'm not going to be able to remember every single one of these stories, but I read this one back to back with the Power Rangers, and what a different vibe and different tone. These are all, yeah, they're very adult themed. You have some nudity, you have gratuitous violence, Halloween stuff. I think you should pick it up for the spirit of Halloween in general. But again, if you're like me and I'm not even a horror guy, I really dug this. It was the best comic book I read all week. Check it out. Hello Halloween. And those are the new comics this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this week's new comics. Let me know what you picked up in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about them. Let me know what you thought about this video. Leave a like on it if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay minty fresh. Peace.